Imagine the roar of thunder cracking across the Roman Forum. But this time, it's not the gods unleashing their fury, it's the spark of something unimaginable. A bolt of raw power harnessed by human hands, lighting up the eternal city in a blaze that could rewrite history forever. Picture it the year 44 before the Common Era. Julius Caesar strides through the streets of Rome, his shadow long under the flickering torches. But in this twisted thread of fate, a brilliant inventor, perhaps a forgotten genius from Alexandria, tinkering in the shadows of the empire, stumbles upon the secret of electricity. Not some fleeting curiosity, but a force tamed, coiled in wires of copper and iron, pulsing through the veins of an empire on the brink of its greatest era. The air hums with possibility as the first crude generators whir to life, powered by the endless flow of the Tiber River. Rome awakens not just to dawn, but to a dawn illuminated by bulbs that banish the night, casting a golden glow over marble columns and cobblestone paths. Whispers spread like wildfire, the gods have gifted us lightning in a bottle. At first, it's the lights that change everything. No more oil lamps sputtering in the wind. No more darkness cloaking the alleys where thieves lurk. Street after street bursts into brilliance. Electric lanterns perched atop iron poles, turning midnight into midday. The Colosseum, that colossal arena of blood and glory, now hosts games under floods of artificial sun. The crowd's cheers echoing long into the night. Gladiators clash not by torchlight, but under beams that highlight every drop of sweat, every swing of the sword. Emperors like Augustus seize this power, decreeing that every public bath, every forum, every villa of the elite must be wired. The people marvel as aqueducts hum with pumps that draw water faster than ever, filling fountains that dance with illuminated sprays. But this is just the beginning, the spark that ignites a revolution. Now, feel the ground tremble as Rome's legions march into a new age, no longer bound by the rhythm of daylight or the fatigue of torchbearers. The army becomes an unstoppable machine. Electric signals flash along wires stretched across battlefields. Commanders barking orders through primitive telegraphs that outpace any messenger on horseback. Catapults evolve into something monstrous, electromagnetic rails hurling projectiles with pinpoint accuracy, shattering enemy lines from miles away. Imagine the siege of Jerusalem in 70 of the Common Era, not a drawn-out starve, but a blitz of powered siege engines. Walls crumbling under arcs of artificial lightning that mimic Zeus' wrath. The barbarians at the gates. They face legions armed with shock batons, weapons that jolt foes into submission without a single blade drawn. Rome's borders expand not by brute force alone, but by the hum of generators towed behind supply wagons, powering field hospitals where surgeons operate under steady lights, saving lives that would have been lost to the dark. And oh, the architecture, how it soars skyscrapers piercing the Roman sky, elevators whisking senators to lofty chambers where debates rage under chandeliers of crystal and filament. Bridges span rivers with illuminated arches, aqueducts reinforced with powered pumps that carry water across deserts, turning barren lands into fertile provinces. Temples to Jupiter glow with eternal flames that never flicker, drawing pilgrims from afar who gaze in awe at altars alive with electric auras. The city sprawls, no longer chained to the sun's cycle. Night shifts in workshops produce armor, tools, even early automobiles rumbling over paved roads, their headlights cutting through fog like divine eyes. But let's dive deeper into the heart of daily life, where the true transformation pulses. In the homes of patricians and plebeians alike, electric stoves replace smoky hearths, cooking feasts without the choke of charcoal. Refrigerators, crude at first, but effective, preserve the empire's bounty. From olives to exotic spices shipped from the east, communication explodes. Telegraph lines connect Rome to distant outposts. Emperors receiving news from Britannia in hours, not weeks. Lovers separated by legions exchange messages that crackle across the wires, their words bridging empires. Medicine leaps forward under this new light. Surgeons peer into wounds with illuminated scopes, cauterizing with heated coils that seal flesh instantly. Plagues that once ravaged cities are contained by powered quarantines, ventilators breathing life into the stricken. Life expectancy stretches, families grow stronger. The empire's population swelling as death retreats before the glow of progress. Yet, suspense builds as shadows creep in. Power isn't just a gift, it's a weapon. Rival factions vie for control of the generators. Assassinations plotted in the dim flicker of sabotaged lines. Emperors like Nero, in this electrified world, don't just fiddle while Rome burns, they orchestrate spectacles with pyrotechnic displays. Fireworks synced to electric symphonies that dazzle and distract the masses. The Senate hums with debates over who owns this lightning, slaves toiling in power plants. Their chains now metaphorical, bound to the machines that light the elite's banquets. Trade routes buzz with electric rail cars hauling goods from Silk Roads to the Atlantic. But pirates adapt, using jury-rigged devices to jam signals and plunder cargoes. Wars shift against the Parthians. Roman cataphracts charge with lances tipped in conductive metal, discharging shocks that fell horses in droves. The world trembles as Rome's influence surges, conquering not just lands, but the very forces of nature. Pause for a moment and feel the epic surge of possibility. Imagine if you could be part of unlocking these hidden histories, diving deeper into worlds that could have been. If this sparks something in you, that fire to explore the untold, hit that subscribe button right now. Join the legion of dreamers who crave these cinematic journeys through time. And if it moves you, smash that like. Let it be your thunderclap, echoing across the digital empire, fueling more tales like this. Together, we're not just watching, we're rewriting the stars. As the centuries unfold in this charged timeline, history warps beyond recognition. By the time of Constantine in the early 4th century, Christianity spreads not by word of mouth alone, but through electric broadcasts, primitive radios carrying sermons across the empire, uniting believers under a cross that glows in neon splendor. The fall of Rome, it never happens. Instead, fortified by industry, the empire pushes back the hordes, electric fences along the Rhine humming with deadly voltage, repelling invaders who flee from the sorcery of the Romans. Exploration accelerates, ships with electric compasses and lights sail unerringly to new worlds, discovering the Americas centuries early, planting colonies where powered mills grind corn into fortunes. The Renaissance arrives not in the 14th century, but in the 6th. Artists like a powered-up Michelangelo sculpting with electric tools, illuminating frescoes that pulse with life. Lifestyle evolves into something luxurious, almost divine. Public transport zips through underground tunnels lit by unending day. Citizens commuting from suburbs that sprawl like vines. Entertainment thrives, amphitheaters host moving pictures projected on vast screens. Crowds gasping at tales of gods and heroes brought to flickering life. Health blooms, spas with electric massages, gyms with powered weights building bodies of steel. But tensions simmer, the divide between wired elites and the unpowered masses sparks revolts. Gladiators now fighting with stun shields in arenas that double as power demonstrations. Global ripples cascade, China's Silk Roads become electric highways. Alliances forged over shared technology. Wars averted by instant diplomacy. Envision the butterfly effects rippling outward, no dark ages. No feudal lords huddled in castles by candlelight. Instead, a continuous thread of progress, where Roman ingenuity catapults humanity forward. By what we call the 10th century, steam-electric hybrids power airships drifting over the Mediterranean. Scouts spotting threats from the skies. Medicine conquers diseases with electric therapies. Hearts restarted by jolts that mimic lightning's kiss. The world map redraws itself, Rome's eagles fly over continents. Cultures blending in a powered melting pot. And now, as the echoes of this alternate empire fade, Let the weight of it settle in your bones, a world where the Colosseum's lights never dim, where legions march under eternal stars made by man. Shiver at the thought our history, fragile as a filament, could have burned so much brighter, empires rising not on swords alone, but on the harnessed fury of the storm. What paths untaken, what glories lost, in the quiet after the thunder. Ponder this: if Rome had seized the spark, would we even recognize the world today?